It's Jesse, the couch movie critic. As you can see today, I'm off the couch and in the kitchen, and I want to do a short little film here today about an unboxing of a film that I'm actually kind of excited about. It's a DC animated original film, and give you a little history on the DC animated universe. Anybody that knows me knows that I love these things. The DC animated universe started in 2007. Started with a film called Superman Doomsday, and what it was Warner Brothers' way of telling more mature adult animated stories from the DC universe without actually the expense of a film. Now, what's great about it is that they've produced over currently the one that I'm going to talk about today, which is Batman Gotham by Gaslight, is the 30th film. They've actually released over 31 of them when you account for the fact that Batman The Dark Knight Rises was actually split into two films, and they're just absolutely great stories. They're, believe it or not, if they could do in theaters with the live action films what they're doing with these animated films, it would probably be on par with what Marvel's got going on. So I'm going to give a little bit of history on the book that led to this film, and then we'll talk about the film and go from there. So let me go ahead and we're going to get right into it, show you the stuff we got, and go from there. So the film in particular that we're talking about today, as I mentioned earlier, is the DC Universe movie Batman Gotham by Gaslight. And I'm excited about this one. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I'll give you a little history on the book that spawned this. This is, at the time it was called, in '89 it was originally printed, as you can see, it was called The Tale of the Batman Gotham by Gaslight. And this was actually printed in '89. It was written by Brian Augustine, and the artwork was done by Mike Mignola. So for those of you scratching your head going, Mike Mignola, why does that sound familiar? This is actually the guy who created Hellboy. He wrote the original stories. He actually did all the artwork as well, pretty much for the larger part of the run of almost all of the Hellboy comics. Guy's an amazing talent. And what was interesting about this book was this is the first of what later on led to what was called the Elseworld universe. And the idea behind it was taking a familiar character like Batman or Superman or the Green Lantern, any one of them, and putting them in a time or a place other than where they normally would exist, allowing to give richer and fuller stories. Gotham by Gaslight, what's really, really amazing about Gotham by Gaslight, and such a trippy tale, but it works so well, is the idea that Bruce Wayne, Batman existed during the time of Jack the Ripper. So it's got that very much of a steampunk vibe when it comes to his weaponry, down to his cowl, his cape to work. And psychologically, it's completely different working as far as the villainy even. And what's great about this is you get to see a lot of your classic characters in a different light. This is one of the more fascinating ones because the first villain that he goes off again is not what you would expect. You're expecting the Joker or one of these classic villains. Well, no, actually, he goes up against Jack the Ripper himself. So it's quite the story. This is actually a first printing of the '89. That's why it doesn't say Elseworlds on it. What I find interesting, too, about the DC animated version now is that it actually says DC Universe movie, like they're trying to tie it to, because there's almost going to be a subline within the series where they have the alternate universe, the Elseworlds tale. So if this succeeds, they're talking about doing a Superman Red Sun, which was another amazing story. So hopefully we get to see that soon. So let me get into the unboxing, go over this, and just tell you a little bit about the one that I got and what I got going on. So what I went ahead and I got for myself here is the DVD, Blu-ray, and HD digital copies. So I love getting these because, you know, with the 6-year-old, it works out perfectly to have the DVD, so I don't have to worry about her damaging the Blu-ray. And being a fan of the digital content and being a bit of a tech nerd, I love these digital copies because it lets me take them on the go. So when we're traveling with her, or even for myself when I'm bored somewhere, I can actually watch them. So I did do some pre-opening to avoid a couple things from being spoiled. So I got masked out my code. What's interesting about the digital code on this one here is that, you know, everybody's so used to Voodoo being the digital code. If you do actually use these digital codes from your movies, definitely you know what Voodoo is. Well, now Disney has started what they call Movies Anywhere. A lot of people don't realize it's even owned by them. And it looks like they've got Warner Brothers to now jump on in with starting to release their digital content through the Movies Anywhere app and services. So this time around, if you have the Movies Anywhere or haven't set it up, go ahead and set it up, and then make sure you link it to your Vudu account, so that way you can also get it in your Vudu library. Simultaneously, that'll give you access to it from, you know, your smart devices, things along those lines. So I've already gone and redeemed that. So let's check out what else is in the package and what we got going on here. So obviously, as I mentioned, you've got your DVD copy on the left with the greenish color. That's always really weird that there always says bluish green tones on the DVDs. On the right hand side, we've got the Blu-ray and the black Batman on the front of it. And as you can see, it's just like any standard Blu-ray. You got your 1080p copy, right across the board. You got your quick synopsis on the back. You got some amazing artwork on the front of the case as well as on the box. And what I like about the box, I don't know if you can see it in the reflection, then it's an embossed box. It's actually raised. You could rub your finger across it and feel the wrinkles in the costume and whatnot. And so definitely take a look at that. And one of the great things about the DC animated films, on top of the great packaging, the great artwork, the storytelling, is that you always have these fantastic special features. And one of my favorite things, I don't know if you see it there at the bottom, mentions bonus cartoons. For those of us that grew up watching the DC series like Justice League and Batman the Animated Series and Superman the Animated Series, they tend to actually throw in 1 or 2, sometimes even 4 episodes of classic series cartoons like that. So I'm really looking forward to getting to sit down and watch this. So in the next couple of days, I'll definitely put up a video with a review on the actual film itself. And these are going to be definitely something you'll be seeing me review more of, because now I actually own each and every copy on Blu-ray that has been released, and most of them on digital copies. So once again, if you guys liked the video, hit the like button. And if you'd like to subscribe and keep following me, keep up to date with some of the new stuff that I'm talking about and looking at, hit the subscribe button as well. Thanks, and have a great one.